Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Friday Online Branding and Marketing with me, Vicki. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a little bit late. Somebody wanted a grilled cheese sandwich at the last minute, so I had to get that whipped up real fast, but that is hashtag mom life, right? So I am here to talk to you guys about social media marketing today and whether or not you're catching this on my live profile or my online branding and marketing group or on my business page. I'd like to welcome you, and I'm just excited to bring this to you. What is it, baby girl? Anyhow, so I want to talk to you. What is your social media strategy? And I just wanted to talk to you about 5 different things you can do just to really up your game in this marketing, in a way to market yourself and brand yourself on your social media platforms. And so let's just go ahead and dive in. And again, if you're wherever you're watching me today, if you want to join us in my group, feel free to just comment group below and we'll get you in our group. I'm constantly just helping bring you tips and tricks and things just to help you with your brand and marketing throughout the entire week. If you're grabbing this or seeing this on YouTube, I will put the description or the link to the group below and you can just hop in and join us just for daily tips and tricks and things every single day and join our tribe there. So let's just jump in. One thing that you can do, or the first thing you can do is everything just starts with goals. Having goals in mind. Bottom line, you just can't have success without having goals, right? Having them, setting them, things that until you know what you want, it's hard to have success, right? You have to map things out. You have to have a plan in mind. So setting goals is really just the start of having success. So set your goals, make sure they're measurable, make sure they're clear. So that's very important. And they're going to be different for every platform. So say Facebook, it's going to be different for Facebook versus Instagram. Each platform is a little bit different. Your audience is going to be different with each platform as well. So make sure that they are different for each platform. So just set your goals, make sure they're attainable, make sure they're measurable, and they're different per platform. And you're going to want to have monthly goals, weekly goals, yearly goals, and change them up. I always say the goal, it's set 5 main goals and then go after those goals. And you might not always achieve them, and that's okay. But if you're not achieving what you've set out to do, change how you're going about it. Don't ever change the goal. If it's what your heart is set to do, change how you're going about it. Never change the goal. Number 2, and this one I preach all the time. This one is so, so important. Know your audience. You have to know and become crystal clear on who your audience is and who you are targeting. This is I can't train on this enough. Know who your target audience is. Knowing who they are and drawing them to you with the type of content that you are putting out there is just super important. It is the key to success. I can't say it enough. To do this, you have to understand their lifestyles. You have to understand what their concerns are, what the problems are, their pain points, what their needs are. This is just so, so important. Remember what problems your products and your services solve. What value can you offer them? What do others need from you? Other things to think about are the age, their income, the locations, like where do they live, where do they hang out, hobbies, their behaviors, all things to keep in mind. The more details, the better. The more that you can narrow in on your perfect customer, your perfect avatar, as some people call them, your perfect audience member, the better. The more you narrow in on that type of person, the better. And I always say, don't worry about leaving other people out. That's okay. Less is more, because it's all about attraction marketing. Once you narrow in on that perfect audience member, you're going to be able to attract so many more to you. So don't worry about trying to serve all the people. When you can figure out who it is that you are trying to serve, you're going to end up serving more. So that is just audience member. Knowing and becoming crystal clear on your audience member is huge. Building your personal brand. That's number 3, building your personal brand. Know your purpose, your why, the reasons why you do what you do. That is huge. That is a huge part of building your brand. Your personality, the characteristics that set you and your brand apart. And I'm not talking about if you work for a company or a network marketing company, anything like that. This is you personally. This is your personal brand I'm talking about. You have to find out what sets you apart from everybody else that works for the same company. I'm huge on this. So this is talking about building your personal brand, your personal characteristics that set you apart from everybody else that's doing everything, that's doing the same thing that everybody in the company is doing. So when it comes to building your personal brand, you are doing something that's setting yourself apart to stand out amongst the many. Your presentation. So how are you delivering your presentation? How are you connecting to your audience? This is huge. How do you connect with everybody? Is it through your posts? Is it through your story? And that one's huge. It has to be through your story, because stories connect with people. Your values, your mission, your vision, those are all huge. Your core values, your message. And branding, I always say, yeah, it's about visuals and your pretty logos, which is up there. I mean, yeah, it's about the pretties, but that's only like 10% of it. The rest of it is about the values, the vision, the presentation, your voice, and how people hear you and see you. That is what branding is about. It's about how you are coming across and how they are feeling when they are working with you. That is what branding is about. This makes social media clear to your audience by having a consistent and cohesive look, but also the feel that they get when working with you. That's what branding is. Number 4, it's planning your content. This one is huge, and it does tend to be more of a struggle for a lot of people, because if you don't know your target audience, you don't know your branding, it tends to get a little hard or a little bit more tricky to plan your content. But if you know your branding, you know who you are targeting and trying to look for when it comes to your customers, content planning can become a piece of cake. You know what relevant topics, you know the pain points, you know exactly what you are going to start talking to, and you know what you're going to start. I've lost my train of thought. I just heard the toaster go off, so I'm like, what are they cooking? But you know the topics that you're going to start talking about. You know the pain points of your audience. You know what problems you're going to solve. You know what value you can bring to them. So you can create content buckets, or content pillars is what some people call them also. So you know what content you can bring every single day, and you pull from those buckets. So what topics interest your clients or your customers or your audience? And a favorite way of mine to figure this out is by asking them. And that's one thing I'll do periodically, is just ask them. Skincare, makeup, fashion, or branding and marketing. I'll ask them, so what is something that's bothering you with this, or what frustrates you most with this? Ask them, and they'll tell you. It's, what recommendations do you need for this? Or, and they'll tell you. People love to give their opinion. They love it. So ask and you shall receive. How will they find value in those topics? I mean, that's really important. You want to know like what they want and what type of value they want. Always create content with the thought of what's in it for them. That is huge. What is in it for them? Always create your content with that thought in mind. What type of value can you bring to your audience? And then most importantly, and this has always been the hardest like concept for me to wrap my head around, because I am not a numbers type of person, but when it comes down to it, we are in business. Bottom line, We have to know our numbers. We have to know our matrix. So you have to measure your success, right? You cannot see where you are doing well and where you are doing bad and where you need to make changes unless you are analyzing your results. So you have to consider your matrix and analysis. And so you need to you have to analyze things. So you have to consider some things, and some matrix to consider and to keep in mind are your likes, your comments, your saves, your shares, the numbers of replies you're getting from stories, DMs that you're getting, reaches and impressions, click throughs if you have a website, link clicks. These are things like if you have websites, but also Facebook to keep in mind, and also Instagram and different face or social media platforms. Unique visitors to websites, that's a huge one. Lead captures and conversion rates, those are all huge metrics to keep in mind. Matrix, I don't know where I'm getting that, metrics. But you have to measure your success and you have to measure your failures. I know failures isn't like a really fun word, but it's important to be able to measure those, because you have to know where you need to make some changes and where you need to like grow, and where you are having extreme successes, because that's where you can take from and continue to push on. So those are just some ways to continue growing your social media strategy for this fabulous rainy Friday, yet again here in Fort Wayne. But I hope that was helpful for you guys, and making sure there's no questions or comments, but there's not. So again, regardless of where you're finding this little social media strategy tips for today, whether it's on my newsfeed, in my groups, on my branding page, or on YouTube, if you want to join us in the group throughout the week with all the fun tips and tricks, just comment group below, or I will include the link below if you're on my YouTube channel. Regardless, I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye, everyone.